Hello everybody and welcome back to Imperator Rome, where, as of yet, I've gotten no input on what people want the future of this series to be. So I'm just going to have to make the decision because at this point I need to continue recording. Can't really wait any longer. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this be kind of a wrap-up episode. Might be a little on the short side. And we are going to be wrapping up this particular playthrough of Imperator Rome because the point of this playthrough was to learn how to play the game. And I feel like I have learned how to play the game. So, as a bit of a recap, we started off in Egypt and learned that they have a severe iron shortage. I don't know if that's been addressed in 1.1 or not, but they have a pretty severe iron shortage there. That save game was invalidated by the 1.0.3 patch, which is what we are on right now. However, we then jumped over to Rome and managed to expand pretty well. I mean, we're doing a good job on the whole forming the Roman Empire thing. We cracked into Carthage down here. We control the entire Italian peninsula at this point. These that are here are our feudatories, so we're doing pretty well. We can, at this point, pretty much just snowball the game, and it wouldn't be that challenging, I think, ultimately. However, then patch 1.1 came out, which has a lot of really good changes that I think are really healthy for the game and take the game in a really good direction. However, 1.0.3 saves are incompatible with 1.1. So we played a couple of extra episodes on the 1.0.3 patch. However, at this point, it's pretty much, I think, time to move on. This series has achieved what I wanted it to, which was teach me how to play this game, and I now feel pretty confident in playing Imperator Rome. So to that end, the question then becomes, what happens next? Well, I am going to be coming back to Imperator Rome in the future, as I do with all Paradox games. I will be attempting to do a new playthrough every time a major patch comes out, but if I don't have a slot available, that's fine. There will always be an exploration mode. So, you know, that's exciting stuff. So as far as what I had planned to do, I had planned to build more roads. No, I mean, I did. But I had planned to expand out this direction. That was the goal. And then simultaneously start taking over basically all of Carthage's North African holdings and then just expand down this way. Maybe make some enemies with Egypt. Did Egypt ever grab... If I can go to the trade goods map mode. Did Egypt ever grab iron? I don't think they did. So I think they have no local source of iron. So we would probably be able to run over them relatively easily, theoretically. That said, they have 327 cohorts. That is a lot of cohorts. They're gaining actually less manpower each month than we are, though. And I mean, we've got what? 100,000. We've got about 200,000. So they have about 50% more troops than we do. But our troops are better than theirs. And we can reinforce our troops much more easily. So I think Cretia Alexandrid here would probably have a hard time holding us off in the long term. In the short term, she might be able to. Macedon is having trouble. Phrygia is having trouble. Basically, Moria would be our only potential rival going forward, but the odds of us actually getting all the way over here is kind of low. So, realistically, I think we'd run over everybody up until we hit Egypt, and then by the time we hit Egypt, we would just be so strong we would steamroll them. That's kind of what I see the trajectory of this game being as right now. So the question is, what next? Well, I had floated previously the idea of doing a Victoria 2 playthrough, wherein I learned to play that game. However, I just did a learning mechanics playthrough on this one, so I kind of feel like I'm going to give that a little bit of a rest, and not immediately dive into Victoria 2. That will probably be quite soon. Like, I really want to learn how to play Victoria 2, but that will probably be either the next series that I start or the one after that. For now, I'm kind of a bit torn on what to do. I have had some requests to play Surviving Mars Green Planet, and that is something that I very well might do. That is something I'm interested in doing. I haven't really gotten too into Surviving Mars, and that's mostly just because I haven't put aside the time to play it. But that's something I would very much like to do. The other thing that I was thinking about doing fits in perfectly with my channel's entire theme and motto: stunningly boring content. The other thing that I was thinking about doing is a pure colonization game in Europa. And what I mean by that is, I start as a custom nation in Tonga, where all I can do is colonize. It would be a rough start, because there would be like nothing happening, but at the same time, I've tried the start in single player, and it is rough economically. It's very difficult to pull off. There are a few tricks that you can maybe use to make it happen, but it's a difficult one. That said, it might be a fulfilling one if I can get it going. That's going to be the difficult thing. So yeah, that's kind of what I am considering doing going forward. And I just, at this point, here's the thing. This is the first video in this recording session for this slot. So I kind of need to figure out right now, so that I can record the next video, what it's going to be. But, I mean, overall, I'm quite pleased with the progress that we made in Imperator, and I feel like I understand the game, at least as it exists on 1.0.3. There are substantial changes going into 1.1, and I think I'd acclimate to them pretty quickly, but I'd definitely acclimate to them more quickly if I was actually playing 1.1. But I think I'm going to give Imperator a bit of a break for right now, and I'm leaning right now towards starting up Surviving Mars. I think that's what I'm going to do. That Europa game sounds like a lot of fun for me. Maybe not for anyone else. But yeah, that Europa game, that's something that will eventually happen. So you can consider that a threat, I guess. I'm threatening to do that. That is something that will happen in the future. In fact, I should probably add that to my upcoming list, but for right now, I think this is going to be pretty much the end of the road for Imperator right now. I usually don't abandon games partway through like this, but there are extenuating circumstances in this particular case. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and end this here. And starting up tomorrow, that is the 5th of July, in the 10 p.m. slot, this slot right here, is going to be Surviving Mars Green Planet. I think I've pretty well decided that. I barely know what I'm doing in that game, so it's going to be exciting. I'm sure that a lot of you will have opinions on what I'm doing, and they're not going to be great opinions. However, you can always subscribe for more, and I will see you all next time.